Hello, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Jolene.
I'm Jillian.
Yep.
From the Little Red Mitten.
In St. Thomas, Ontario. It's been quite the start to the day with technical issues and people issues. These two people issues.
Yep.
They're the only ones in the building, so it was these two people issues. Welcome to the podcast. And the new year, and it's been forever, but I've missed recording, even though it takes me a long time to actually do it. Yeah, I've really missed it. So we have fun new plans. Yes. So we thought we'd share it with you. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about it since it started with your stuff?
Well, I started going through my whips. I don't know, was that before the new year? Probably. Yeah. I knew I had a lot of whips because I think we brought it up on some like previous podcasts and stuff like that. I knew I had a lot of whips.
You had done one count and hadn't told me, and I told you not to tell me until I counted, and then weeks and stuff went by before we didn't do anything with it. So,
and then you went through all my whips sometime over the break, right? And I wrote them all down, and I counted them all, and originally I thought I had 30. Okay, that's a lot of whips.
It's a lot of whips.
I counted, and I had something like 43. And I put them all into Ravelry. And well, Ravelry says I have 52. 52 whips, folks. So, what also started out, what I thought I only had like 40 or between 30 and 40 was... I guess some of the regulars are doing like, I don't know, they're doing 100 days, but they're doing
the first 3 months, I think.
They're working on just on whips and stuff like that. So I was going to do 100 days of whips.
Yeah, because you didn't do it with us last time.
I think I partly did. Yeah, I'm not good with that. I like to cast on.
Obviously.
It's the 52 whips. So I was going to do 100 days of whips.
Yeah.
And I was doing it. I quickly cast on, I think I cast on like 3 things on New Year's Eve. I cast on a pair of DK socks because I think I want to kind of have, that was a weird noise, DK socks on the go all the time because they just knit up so nicely. They're my like car project, but they're not in my car.
You're not a passenger too often, but...
No, but when I get a flat tire and I have to wait for someone to come rescue me.
It's true.
Anyway, and then I looked up how many 100 days was from January 1st, and it was like April 11th, and I was like, that's a really long time. I can't do it. And then I actually put them into Ravelry, and I had 52 whips, so instead of 100 days, I've now gone to 52 weeks of whips.
Yeah, so 100 days sounded like a long time for Jillian, so instead she's going to do a whole year. But you changed the rules.
I did change the rules, yeah. So I am allowed to cast on. I think I have to finish right now 4 whips, and they have to be 4 old whips,
off
not
of this
like
list.
Not if I start a new one, I probably won't even count. I already finished like 2 of them, right, from Geo.
Yeah,
the ones that I cast on Christmas Eve. So I have the socks, the DK socks. I won't count that. So anything that was on my list before like the new year.
Yeah, so she has to finish 4 older projects. And to be able to cast on a new one. And if she casts on a new one and finishes it right away, it doesn't count as one of the finishes.
Right now, anyway.
To be able to cast on again. It should bring your numbers down.
If I can do it, I'd like to do it, because it still allows me to cast on. It lets me be more selective, which is probably better, because I do like to cast things on, and then I get distracted by other things and don't finish things. So should let me be a little more selective about what projects I cast on, and then hopefully I only have like 13 whips at the end of the year or something like that. I'd like to have less, but
13's not too bad.
No, it's not compared to 52. Oh gosh. So, and then you counted yours.
So after all of that, I decided to count all mine. I wanted to get them all together, but I pulled everything out. I think I have absolutely everything. And I have 29. So that's a lot. It's not 52, but it's 52 is a lot.
It is a lot.
But I have 29, and I'm going to somewhat follow along with Jillian. I've kind of played around with what I could do. I probably won't do it for the whole year. Although if I don't finish things, then I guess it will just naturally fall into the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
But because if I do it that way for the whole year, I think my whip count will be too low, and I need to have some. So I'm doing the same thing. If I finish 4 projects, I can cast 1 on, but I added 2 additional rules to mine. I only want a max of 5 sweaters on the go and a max of 5 socks on the go. So in order to cast on in that category, I need to have brought that category down under 5. So, and then the other thing I'm doing is I'm kind of trying to focus the week on certain patterns or certain projects. So I'm taking 4 of them off my list out, and those are the ones I'm working on for that week. And then at the beginning of the week, I can either switch it up, or if I finish things, add new things to it, depending on if I'm happy with what I'm working on. But I'm trying to keep it so that if those are the only ones I have, like, maybe I'll actually make some progress on them. And
I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'd probably let you pick for the first little bit, some of the whips. Although I do want to kind of go to some of the older ones too, but I do want to let you pick some of them. I do have quite a few mine that are getting frogged, but
yeah, I've marked 2 of mine as possibly being frogged, so that would bring me down to 27. And I have quite a few that are probably really close to being done, or fairly close anyway. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish 4, cast 1 on. If I'm ready. Sometimes when I do stuff like this, then I'm not ready to cast on, but
You're excited to cast, to not cast on, but pick up the next item to finish it or something like that, or keep going if you're in the momentum of it.
Yeah.
So you get to cast 2 things on later? Do the cast-ons roll over?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, if you finish 8 then without casting on, then you have 2 cast-ons. No, that's good. It's perfect.
I don't know if that's a good thing for me though, but yes, okay.
Why?
Then I'll save all my cast-ons for the end and cast all the
That would be amazing. Do it. That would be amazing.
And I won't even cast it. Okay.
Well, it's already, for me, that's why I think I might end up finishing more than 4, is because so right now my projects are broken down like this. I have 11 sweaters cast on, 10 socks, 4 shawls, 2 hats, 2 blankets. So if I finish 4 sweaters, I still have above that 5 max that I want to kind of be under.
Yeah.
And same with socks. Like, I have to finish. So if I finish 1 sock, 1 sweater, and those are the things I mostly want to cast on. Yeah, I might cast on a hat or something like that. But
a hat's a nice palette cleanser. You can get it done quickly, like if you do but yes.
So I probably will for a couple things, but mostly I will probably be doing more than 4 before I cast on, because I'll want to cast on a new sweater or something. So.
Yeah. So you've got 11 sweaters. I have 16. You have 10 socks. I have 18. I don't know. Okay. I don't know how I have so many socks.
Like, those are pairs of socks, right? They're not individual socks.
Well, yeah. So I have 2 or 3 that are just 1 sock's done. I don't know if I'll finish the other, because 1 was a test knit. Actually, 2 of them were test knits, and I don't have yarn to finish the 1. So a lot of these, I think my whip count could probably go down quite a bit by frogging or canceling things out. But and then some of those are sock tubes. I counted the sock tubes in there because they're projects that I've been wanting to do. Anyway, I have 7 shawls or wraps. I have 1 other, and I can't tell you what that is. I don't know. I have 2 cowls, 3 blankets. I think I have 4 blankets now, and I might have 1 less sweater because I think I switched things. And then I have 1 hat. And surprisingly, I have 5 bulky sweaters.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I couldn't even tell you what they are. So I'll have to go through them and see Anyway, I don't have goals on mine, like a max of things right now.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, that was just something that I thought would work for me. Socks might end up going up. I might want more than 5 pairs of socks on the go. I don't know why. It's ridiculous. I didn't break mine down quite as far as yours, because in my 4 shawls, one of them's a cowl. I just was like, oh, it's just going to go in that group.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I could have done like accessories instead of like the hat and the cowl, and I don't know what the other thing is.
I don't know. You're going to have to go through them. So I'm starting to try and get my stuff up on Ravelry, so I have what yarn I'm using and everything. It's been nice to try and organize this and get some pictures, and we'll add some pictures of our current ones.
I think there's a lot of things you can do on Ravelry too. I think I saw something on there about, like, there is your queue list, but I think there's like a whip queue list too, or something like that. You can prioritize your whips or something like that.
Yeah, there's goals. You can set your goals for the year, and
there was something else I came across. So
I might do that. I also thought about doing, because right now I have everything, all these 29 are there as whips. And I wondered about, I don't know if it really matters. It really only matters if people are going and looking and they want to see what I'm working on, or to keep my brain, if I'm going on there. But you could snooze them. You can put them to sleep.
Can you really?
Yeah, it has the little Z's, right? So then I can just have the 4 I'm working on, and then unsleep them as you add them and finish stuff.
You could also, because you can make bundles.
In your own projects?
Yes, because I have test knits, like all my test knits are in one. I don't know how, because I tried to, I think I started, by tags. So I think I tagged all of mine 100 Days of Whips or something like that. So I have to go back and change those, but you could tag them, so you could have whips all as, or you could have your current ones done as, so they're in a special, in their own folder kind of thing. They just show up there or whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm gonna go check that snooze thing out. That's cool though.
Yeah. So I'm actually really excited about it. Usually when it's like no cast on, it's like it sounds like a punishment or something like that. And I break rules all the time. I think that's why these things are easy for me to commit to, because it's just like when I'm just doing it for myself and this is my hobby. They're loose rules. But I do get overwhelmed when my whip count gets too high, which I have a higher threshold than a lot of you guys. I have a higher threshold. I do have a lot of whips, but I want some of them to come down. And some of them are so close. So I know there's one sweater I probably will rip out, and I think there was one hat, but the hat is just because it's I think it looks a little too big, so I think I just want to rip it out and restart it with fewer stitches.
So do you count that as a new cast on, like as a frogging and a casting on, or you like you're using the same yarn and everything, you're just restarting it, like that's just the same project?
Yeah, I think again that could be whatever.
Yeah. I have a sweater that I want to still make, but not in the yarn that I was making it in originally.
So I would think that would be a new cast on. Sucks. But you get one down because you're going to rip that one out, and then
so it counts as a half of a finish.
Yeah, that's what we decided to, is if you're going to rip something, it counts as a half.
And I think that at least I think for me, the first 100 days or like the first 3 months. 100 days is still a long time. I know those extra 12 days or 11 days is too much for me. I can't do 100 days. I don't want the frogs and stuff to...
Oh, is that what you're going to do? They don't count then?
They don't count as finishing either, to be for casting on for the first couple of days. I want to like actually finish things and stuff like that.
Yeah, it should bring down your whips by 3/4 if you can get...
I want to also go through mine and look at some of my oldest ones, right? So kind of put them into a folder, or like have one of the oldest ones part of my like 4 that I'm working on each week or something like that. Because I have some. Didn't I have one that was Like when I first started, it was like 2017 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was now. I have a crochet blanket that's probably from 2017. It's big, so that I'm not necessarily expecting that one to be... No, I should finish that this year. I have all the yarn. It's ridiculous. It's like a crochet sampler blanket. It's gorgeous.
Okay, so this is something else I grabbed and I haven't told you yet. So this is above...
Surprises.
This is above my 4. This will actually be 5 that I'll have at home. Because this is what I'm going to do with this one. Because I don't think I'm going to get to the point... Okay, sorry. This is my Coziest Memories blanket. It's a scrappy blanket in mitered squares. And I think I started this in 2019. And it's not very big. Like, I don't remember how many squares. I'll count them. Because I think I'll do a little coloring page.
Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, you wanted to color pink for your whips. Anyway.
I do, yeah. So I'll count how many squares are on here and figure out kind of what size I want it. Again, it's modular. I can make it as big or small as I want as I get going. But I'm going to try and do 1 square a week.
I got distracted by the yarn. I heard you though.
Because 52 squares is huge, right? So that could finish this blanket once I draw it out and see the shape and see. But I want to do 1 square a week, and then if I got into it, I don't mind like sitting and doing a bunch of squares, and maybe it will become one of the projects like I just work through and finish. Yeah. But if it doesn't, it would be nice to just do 1 square a week, and at the end either be done, depending. I'll look and see if that's something that can happen, or
see what size you're at and how many squares you need to finish to make your size. Yeah. Because you could probably do 2 squares even like a week. Yeah. If you needed to finish it or something like that,
and sometimes I get into these things and then it will be the project for a while. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is in addition to my other 4 projects that I'm going to have going in any given week. And I think for this week it's pretty fair because I have a few things that are going to be done really quickly.
Nice.
So
yeah, I have one of my blankets is the beekeeper.
Oh, the hexy puff thing?
The hexy puff one, right? So like I'd like to be anytime I'm doing a fingering weight project. Ooh, I should do that with the Advent. Anyway, anytime I'm doing like a fingering weight project, or if I finished one, like do a hexy puff. Like I'm not gonna finish that one this year. Like that's not. Yeah. But I do want to have a good chunk of hexy puffs at the end of the year for it.
What's that? 27. You should have at least 27 hexy puffs by the end of the year.
Well, that's...
Jillian has 27 of her projects are in fingering weight. So if she did 1 hexy puff for each of those projects in the yarn that those...
And a lot of them are going to have more than 1 yarn color, right? So
it could be more than that.
It could have more.
But if you look at that as your minimum...
Yeah. I'd like to have more. Like, I'd like to have a nice basket size of them, but they're small, but like... I know, that's unrealistic. Fine.
27.
Fine, 27.
More is unrealistic.
If you can have 52 of your squares done, why can't I have 50?
Oh, I'm not going to have 52. It's the goal.
I feel like we're a month behind and we should be like just starting the new year now. Like now we have all of our plans. Now I just want to restart.
Oh, so do you want to do...
Nope. I don't want to keep going.
You haven't cast on yet. So we started this.
We've started it. I just wish I'd started and planning things at the so that I was ready to go, and I could have had like.
But you didn't cast anything on. You have been. You've been finishing things.
I know, but I would have like written things out.
It's the new year now.
Stuff. Anyway, it's fine. Okay, so what projects are you working on this week then?
So they're my same ones from last week. This one will make you laugh. So this is my first pair of socks I'm gonna finish, and.
Drop stitch.
I
love those socks.
So this is yep.
Is that just kitchen stitch that you need?
Finish. What did I order? Ooh, I got new burners. I'm excited. There's a delivery. All my burners are broken. All of them have finally worn out. I had like five plug-in like hot plate style burners, and they all like just died over the last however many months, one by one. So anyway, so this will be my first finish, or my first sock finish. So this was one of my whips for this week, and it was from last week as well. And I will just let you know that that is sock number 2, so it is really pathetically almost done. They are 2 different colors. They are fraternal twins. Those are so fun.
They're
so great together. Yeah, so this is a fingering weight held with mohair. The first one, this completed one, is it's Leo and Roxy, and its password is the fingering weight, and the mohair is Overjoy.
I'll be right back.
And then this one is Overjoy with Overjoy. So the same mohair in both, and then this, but the fingering weight underneath is Overjoy. So yeah, so that is my first set of socks. It is almost done, and so that's part of the reason where I was like, I'm gonna have the other one this week, because this will be done.
Nice.
And then I won't.
Oh, yeah, are we gonna pick new ones like on the podcast, or are we gonna pick them before the podcast if we drew them?
We were gonna do draw. We're gonna draw them out of the.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll write that down. What am I doing? Drawing
which whips?
Drawing whips.
We might.
That would be fun to do on the podcast.
Yeah.
If we're recording at the right times.
And that's what we discussed for yours. I had mine kind of planned, but I don't mind.
Yeah,
doing
that's
it for some.
yeah.
I did put numbers. I put numbers on my bags, like by category. You see that? It says socks number 1. And I had kind of looked at them as which ones would be finished either the fastest or just what I wanted them for. Like,
yeah.
So I put them in order, and that's, again, always flexible. And I did the same with the sweaters, just so I didn't have to go opening all the bags and trying to decide which made the most sense if I was trying to get things either finished quickly or not.
Yeah, so I still have to kind of do that part of it, because you kind of read out my whips to me,
yeah,
and I wrote them down. So, but now I have to go and look at them and sort them and spread them out and do that same kind of thing and number them the way I want and stuff like that. So
So I did it by category.
Been putting it off.
The sweaters have 1 through 11 on them, and then, but that's totally flexible. It was just if I was choosing that day, that's what would have worked for me. So it makes it easy if I'm just trying to get something. But also the idea of just drawing it out of a hat, whether it's I put all the sock ones in one hat, so I'm like making sure I have one sock, one sweater, whatever.
Yeah, I might want different categories in the hat, so that, or like just random ones. Yeah,
like you have your must finished or those oldest ones, so that you are working through it.
Yeah, something.
And then one sweater, one sock, one whatever, something like that. Yeah. Do you think this on the next week, do you think you'll keep the same ones if you didn't get them finished? Or do you think you'll switch them out for something new?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because if we're starting like our new week starting today, or do you start your week
yesterday? But
I still have the 4, like I haven't picked new ones for this week, so I'll probably just keep them. I think I worked on, I can't remember what the 4th one is. I didn't work on one of them, so I think I'll just keep them for this week. I don't know. Next week I probably should switch them up, because if I haven't worked on it, then I should probably swap it out for something else, right?
If you don't work on it in the week, it's the only one you get for the next week.
It's the only thing you're allowed to work on until, oh crap. That's good though. See, I like a challenge, so that's like the 52 weeks, even though the 100 days was a lot for me, 52 weeks to have almost all my whips finished, because I could have all my whips finished and it's just the new cast-ons from the year that would be left over, kind of thing. That's a big challenge, more so than 100 days of not casting on, because that's fine. It's just annoying.
It's just a restriction. It's not really a challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's just you're just not allowed to cast on.
I can do that. It's fine. But
the challenge of
can I actually finish 52 whips, or
how many of those can you finish, or whatever.
So having that, if I don't work on one of the 4 that I have, if I don't work on one of them being the only thing I'm allowed to work on until it's finished or something like that, okay.
Okay, so you have to work on all of them. What is the rule for work on? Because you can't just like pick it up and do a stitch.
No, like I'd have to sit on it for like work on it for a night or something like that, or like part of the night, like do a couple rows at least of something, right? Yeah. So that means that I'd have to work on the one project all like until it's.
Do you want to show one of yours, or do you want me to go through all mine first?
No, you can go through yours first, and then we can come back to mine.
So I only had 3 that I worked on this week. I only had 3 picked. I didn't end up picking 4.
Yeah.
So there's not one. It's fine. Yeah, so I don't have to work on one all week because I didn't actually even have 4 picked, but this is my Marled Magic sweater, right?
Yep.
Marled Magic?
Marled Magic, Magic Marled. I think it's Marled Magic. I never remember. It's
not
something
that's
like
not
that.
one of his other sweaters, so
No,
this is so almost done. Like
so ridiculously close.
Yeah, I literally have a few more rows on the back. I had this counted the other day when I was working on it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the mohair's missing. 7, so like 14 rows on the back to finish the last panel, and then some ribbing cuffs on the sleeves.
Yeah. And
then decide what I'm doing with all the tails.
Just leave them.
Yeah, but am I pulling them forward, braiding them? What am I doing with them? Yeah. So this is a Stephen West pattern, and he has options or like show some stuff you can do with the ends to make it part of the a featured part of the sweater. And then there's an I-cord bind off for all the way around the bottom and the neckline. Yeah. Which you promised to help me with. Is that still a thing when you're...
I know, when I was like, when you pulled it out, I was like, I said that, but I'm like, now I have my own things. Like, do I have to still? I'm like, no, I said I would help you with it. That's fine.
I might do it. We'll see. Or I might consider it finished without an I-cord bind off at the bottom. We'll see what happens.
Let's see the back. Yeah, so you're just joining these last little bit.
Yeah, there's like 14 rows down there.
And then are you doing the I-cord in pink?
Yes.
And then cuffs in pink?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's not a lot left to do, so
there's not, and I worked on it for a bit, and yeah, I should be able to get it. Finished.
And then you're hold me double.
Because so far, like, let's see. I've showed the 2 that I'll have this week. That sock is what? 5 minutes?
Done. I should make you finish it after I'm done recording.
Literally.
You can work on it while I show my whips.
There's like 5 minutes on that sock. There's a couple hours in this.
Yes.
The few rows, the cuffs, and then the I-cord bind off. If I do the I-cord bind off, that's a bit. And then just cleaning up the ends, making sure they're at least secured in some way.
Yeah, the ends is a whole nother...
That's like, yeah, laying it out and playing with it and stuff like that. But as far as the knitting part, there's still a couple hours in it, but not a ton.
But it's pretty close.
It is, yeah. So, but the sock's literally a couple minutes. It's not long at all.
Yeah, you should work on your sock while I show mine.
Yeah.
Right? So
I will. So this is the 3rd one I had this past week, and this is my newest cast on. Truthfully, when I counted my cast on my whips, this wasn't even cast on yet, but I knew I had to because it's part
counted it as a as a whip because it was. And I think I did the same thing.
Yeah,
mine was kind of swatched.
So this is my Yarn a Day sweater from the Yarn a Day calendar this year.
From Leo and
Roxy's Yarn a Day calendar. So we're doing
pretty.
a knit along for it. So I knew I had to cast it on. So I think I cast it on the night I counted all my whips and stuff like that. And it's coming along so nicely. It's so much fun.
So what are you doing with it? What yarns are you using? Like, what pattern?
I forget the name of the pattern. I do know it. It's
it'll be on there.
It'll be on there, but I do have it right here. Stripes of Joy by Tiff Nealon. So she like repeats her stripe pattern in there. I'm fading through the Advent colors in just one of the fade orders that would work, and it has like a little stripe of the main color breaking it up. This is a worsted weight pattern, so I'm holding the fingering double, and then in the main color I'm holding it double plus mohair. And it's fun. I just separated for the sleeves.
Yeah, you're going really fast. Like you only cast it on like 2 weeks ago, maybe?
No, a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only been a week, so it's coming along, and I still enjoy it. So it should.
It's fun because you're fading colors, and so it's always changing, and
yeah. So.
It's
and
so
now,
nice.
and now it's separated for the sleeve, so down the body.
Yeah. Is it long sleeve?
It is long sleeve. I was trying to decide. I don't know if I'm going to do long sleeve or if I'm going to do short sleeve. Probably. I don't know. I'm going to do long body. I'm not going to crop it, but I might do short sleeves.
Yeah. Do you 3/4 sleeves at all, or do you do, or like just above?
I might do the like elbow length.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like 3/4 too. I do, like, I will push up my sleeves. So it's nice to kind of not make them too long if I know that in that style I'm going to just end up getting annoyed with it. So I'm just looking at these. I should be using my stopper things because I do lose stitches in my projects all the time. And these ones happen to be in there, so I should put them on. There we go. Put that away neatly. So let's see. That was the third one. Oh, yeah. I don't know how to count. Do I know how to count? That was the third one that I had from last week.
Do you have one more?
Two more.
I
have two more down here. Hold on. Let me see what they are and see why. Okay.
There was one that I was thinking of, but I don't know if you'd actually worked on it this week.
No, those are all I worked on this week.
Okay.
But I grabbed ones for this coming week, right?
Oh, okay. So you're going to add to the ones?
Well, because I only had the three. And so I thought, oh, I can go up to the 4.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that sock's done and I can't not have a sock. So 5. And then the blanket thought. So 6.
Yeah, so the blanket's fine because that's like
okay. So
your blanket's gonna be your ongoing one, and the sock makes sense because you're gonna finish that in a couple minutes when I start doing mine.
Yeah. So technically, I'm going into this with 5/6.
So you are starting because you said you were gonna keep your same ones from last week, but you are adding.
I'm keeping them, and I probably will finish them first before I even start touching. Maybe not all of them, but like
I'll show you.
Like so, like this is the sock I chose to be my next sock. So this is the Cider House socks by Summerlee Knits. I don't know. Oh, our gauge differences. We should. Do you have them here?
Gosh, I don't think so. I think I took them home.
We can show them next week.
I think we might. I feel like we maybe did talk about it, or we talked about it
on
or
one of the lives.
Like
but,
yeah, I'll take a photo and post it, which I said I would do last time. But whatever.
We'll show. Maybe we'll show them next week. Jillian and I had a major gauge difference between the two of us. It's actually quite a lesson on gauge because it's dramatic. Anyway, so this is the first sock. I'm not done the second or the first one yet. So that's 2 socks to work through. So I grabbed that as my next one. It might drive me insane that I don't have a plain sock on the go, but oh well, they'll have to wait till Monday. I might have to get something done because I'm actually going to start knitting again. So, and then number 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6.
Yeah, 5 if you're not counting. Like, I wouldn't count the blanket as one because that's just like an ongoing one, so I wouldn't count it in your.
I technically, okay, you tell me. I technically could choose not to allow myself to have this one this week. Because if I'm really honest about the Marled Magic, there's a few hours in that. And then there's the Advent one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like you don't need to be... if you want to actually work on those other 2, then maybe you don't want to do this. But if you want to break, like what stage are you at on this one?
I'm almost in the first sleeve.
So it's so close, right?
I know, but then will it take me away from finishing...
yeah, I guess you just have to decide which one you want to finish.
Probably, just with how much time there is in a week, this would probably be fine for me not to allow into this week's and still be able to finish it next week or something. So
yeah, because you could probably, if you end up working on the other ones this week, don't add this one to your order.
Yeah,
that be what your main focus is on next week, right? You could probably finish it next week.
Yeah. What's this called? Northern Woods.
I don't. Jessie May
by Jessie May. I started this back in October. So I've done the body and almost done the first sleeve. It ends in a cuff in this color, so it's I'm ready for the cuff, I think, and then I have to do the second sleeve. So that's close. Yeah. I probably won't consider this one for this week though. I think I'd rather.
It's so close that it can be one for next week that you could like have a goal of actually finishing, right? If you add it to this week, then you don't get much progress on anything.
I feel if I pull this out, then I'll focus on this, and then I'll still have all the same ones.
And then you might have to focus on one of them because you didn't work on any of them.
Yeah, this one doesn't count.
What happens if you only work on one project and you have 3 projects? I guess those are just the 3 that you have to work on the next week, right?
Yep. So not a big deal. You're just really staying on the same one. I think majority of the time, I don't think there's going to be a lot of times where I put one back. Either I'm going to finish something and add one more.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of the times I'm going to be like, oh, I worked on this. Usually it just sparks the interest again, and now I'm interested in it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and pick at least one of them that will be done, maybe not in that week, but close to it. So hopefully things are starting to get knocked off that way. So those are mine. So there are 5 or 6 of my whips.
What yarn was that last sweater?
That's the BFL. That's Leo and Roxy BFL Sport. I didn't say what any of them were.
Well, the other one, the socks were Leo and Roxy, and the Advent was Leo and Roxy, and the
well, they're all Leo and Roxy.
The gray sweater is
everything.
It's a little bit of everything from the store. It was like all the gray yarns that we could find it because it was from our Hold Me Double. Yeah, so it's a bunch of yarns together,
from lace weight up to worsted weight. All sorts of gray yarns, and then the cable socks are Leo and Roxy natural socks. So yeah, that's a lot of Leo and Roxy. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Yep. All right, you get to show me your whip. So I'm supposed to knit while you show me.
Yeah, you get your thing out. So
I chose which ones you were focusing on, but I forget.
I have them still on the bottom of my computer. You want to see? These are my bloomers.
Oh yeah.
It's hard. They're on the really short needles. So these is also done in the BFL Sport.
That's nice.
I think I have a couple more rows to go for the. Am I doing increases or decreases? I'm doing increases. That makes sense. It's really hard to see. You can't. Anyway. I don't know what the next step is after it. I had put this down because I think I was trying to do it at knit night, and it was too hard to do during
and talk and
figure out the increases. But when I was sitting just watching TV, it was totally fine to do. So I breezed through a bunch of it. But
so these are starting at the top down. This is the waist, and now you're increasing for the hips and bum.
Yeah, it's got a nice long ribbing at the top, so you can like fold it down or whatever, which will be nice. And then I think I made some. I probably got about an inch or so, a little bit more than an inch, because I don't think I was that far into the plain part. Next time, I'll try and put them on like stitch holders so I can see them a little bit better. But
next time they'll be done.
Doubtful. Also, I thought I was going to run out of yarn, and so I was like not taking them with me or procrastinating working on them because I hadn't wound the second ball yet. But I obviously haven't because I worked on it. I think I only worked on it one night, but didn't run out of yarn.
Are all your project bags occupied with your 52?
Oh yeah, this is like the fabric store in town, the bag that I just had like lying around or whatever.
I think all but one of mine are in like sewn prep. Well, no. They're all in project bags. There's one that's like sitting there, but I think I still have more project bags. I just have to pull it out.
A lot of mine, I have a lot of project bags. right? Because a lot of them are in project bags. There's a couple, like my Advent one is in the box. Mm-hmm. And I think some of my sock tubes are in like one bag, like kind of thing. But I think a lot of them, one's in a Ziploc. There are quite a few of them. I do have, most of them are in some sort of like actual project bag. Mm-hmm. I don't, Lucre, I don't know, it's not English.
These are the bloomers?
Yeah, Maya's Lucre.
That's the name of the pattern, right?
That's the name of the pattern, yeah.
We'll put it up on the screen.
Our knitted woolen knickers.
Aw.
As the garments are called in Sweden, our knitted woolen knickers. It's funny. You can see the name there. But, so, that's those ones.
One. Oh, that's the other. Found it.
What's the other?
Your bottoms.
Oh.
Doesn't fall into any other category.
And it's DK. All right, I wrote it down. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know if I would have ever figured that out. Because it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, you were going to think it was like one of your older projects and something weird or something like that. You're going to keep looking until...
Yeah. This is a nice project, but I don't know where this one came from. This one, I should just cast it off and be done with it.
No. You said you were doing long sleeves.
I'm doing long sleeves. Oh, that's attached. We'll shove that back in there. This is not what I think it is. I think it's the Jupiter crop. I don't think it's juniper. I think it's Jupiter.
I keep calling it juniper.
So
and
now
confusing you.
Now I keep calling it both things. So my body is done. I ripped back my neck because it was the short rows in the back were really wonky. I think my gauge was just off, but the rest of my gauge is perfect.
Nice.
That never happens, especially with non-superwash. I don't seem to have good luck with that, and color work. Anyway, it's really pretty. I love it. But now I have to do the sleeves. I don't think the sleeves will actually be that bad.
No, the whole sweater's been going pretty quick. I think you'll be
because
fine.
we didn't. When did we start this? Before Christmas.
So just
like
before...
the middle of December or something like that. Because it was one of the last.
It was like the weekend
nights
before Christmas.
With the last knit nights or something like that, right? Because then Tamara came in, was looking for yarn, and we all ended up picking yarn for.
I think it was like the 17th or so.
So that's, and this is DK, so it's Lore, and yeah, so I have deuces. I'm going to do mine. The pattern calls for like 3/4 or like elbow length sleeves or something like that. I'm going to do long sleeves because I don't have very many sweaters that are actually long sleeves, except for the one that I was wearing this morning, and the other two that I have that are long sleeve are like Holy. The one that you had, the Marled Magic sweater, and then my Hold Me Double one that I did, which was basically the Marled Magic, but in the palette cleanser shape.
Yeah, but they're warm. The Holy doesn't make...
No, I have to wear shirts underneath them.
Like
Nope, this is too much. Nope, it's not warm enough. You know, I'm always cold. I get like a draft and it's not enough. Anyway, so long sleeves. The color work goes for a couple rows because I think it kind of comes down to about like here. It has like this same sort of pattern. And then it will just be
blue,
navy. Yeah, the blue going through. I might add a little bit of something to like right just above the cuff or something like that. I also might do long ribbed sleeve, like cuffs. Because I like that on my whatever sweater I was wearing the other day. I have a couple sweaters that had like the long ribbed cuffs and stuff like that. I
forget what it's called, but it was your...
the starring sweater.
Yeah.
But my palette cleanser's like that, and so is both my palette cleansers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would probably help with the whole pushing up the sleeves thing, right? Because it's holding it in, and like there's not volume there. And
I do like to push my sleeves up, but I like to have the length of the sleeves, so...
Yeah.
So that was number 2, so I did work on that quite a bit, because I think I might have finished the ribbing last week, and then at a really ridiculous hour undid the neckline.
Yeah.
So
in the middle of the week.
Yeah, I think I did that Thursday night.
That's 2. This is 3.
So this is 3.
How's it coming?
I don't know what I got myself into. I don't know. So this is the Advent from Leo and Roxy, the Yarn a Day calendar. I swatched for the Paul Klee sweater, which I thought was going to be really pretty. And I think it still would be.
Yeah.
But then I saw a crochet granny square blanket, and it's really pretty. And it was not the same colors, but it's similar color. Like I think the tones and the feel of it would be the same.
Yeah.
So I got all excited about that. But I'm having some issues, and I'm gonna need some crochet help.
Uh-oh.
Or some tips and
Did
stuff.
you
like
lose your crochet skills?
No, I know I can crochet. It's fine. But like, what is this? What did I get myself into, folks? Because I'm not dealing with that. And the other thing is, so I did look up some tutorials for like weaving your ends in as you go.
Yeah.
And I found a really nice one. But I still have to weave in like the end tail. I only got one done last night. And they're not even that big. And I knit from like 8 till like 11. Like I was probably not as focused on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still I only need to get one done.
That you have to have this done by the end of February.
Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
So I don't know
that's the knit along.
I know.
The rules are there.
But I'm wondering if I do one square of everything, like a solid square.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then do some like random. So these ones are random. But the weaving of the ends in, like I'm trying to weave them in as I go so I don't have to do them at the end. So it's like the weaving as I start off the crochet is okay because you're picking it up and twisting it, but it does take some time. I think I'm just going to have to do it not as long. Like I think I was going around like 2 corners to make sure that it was really woven in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I need to do that. I think I can kind of just do one.
So is it just that you catch it as you go?
So when you're doing your double crochet, when you get to the end of like the 3 clusters,
Yeah.
you take your yarn tail and you flip it over the yarn.
Yeah.
So it kind of like catches like a float, right?
Yeah.
And then you finish that one off. And then when you're going to crochet into the next space, you wrap your yarn. Basically, for a double crochet, I would wrap the yarn first before putting it through the hole. So I'm wrapping both pieces through it and doing it. So it kind of locks it in.
Okay.
And then you're just crocheting over it the rest of the time. So I think I only need to do it like twice and then it should be fine. Mm-hmm. But then when I'm done the row, or like the round,
yeah.
I have to weave that one in. And I've just been cutting it and putting it back in and then just weaving it back and forth across the top, which I think, and then like down a little bit, and I think that'll be fine. But if anybody has any more tips on granny squares and how to like weave in the ends as you go, like in an easy way, because it's not going fast enough. And that's another thing. If it takes too long, I'll get bored with it and I won't do it. Like that's not enough progress. So, but they are really pretty, and I think at the end it's gonna look so nice together. Totally not I don't know what I'll do with it after.
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
So I did what you said because I was like didn't know how to do them randomly in the colors. So I basically, I think I put the boxes in the order that they were, like 1 to 24, and then I don't have mine numbered anymore because I was gonna do them randomly, just pull them randomly out of the thing. So I just kind of matched the yarn colors up to the numbers on the boxes kind of thing. So I was like, oh, a dark red can go in this one and a medium blue in this one. So they're all
just randomly in there, kind of
randomly in there. So I'm just kind of going from the start. So the first one's going to be there's 4 colors in each square plus the main color, and I'm going to grab 2 more neutrals, a lighter one I think and a darker one.
Yeah.
So that I've got enough variation in the squares basically, but I'm going to start here. So 4, 1 to each of those, and then I'll start with the second one and I'll go like that kind of thing. So I'll probably do that with all of these colors, and then I'll go back and I'm putting the neutral color in like random spots. I just kind of pick where I want it to go as I'm going along. I think it's going to be really pretty. It's taking a long time, so I think I might have to do a couple. I think I might do one of every. I might just start that first. Is go through and do one solid one of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Because it takes a long time to stop and weave in the ends because there's 5 rounds. And I don't know how many I'm going to need to do. I need to make a couple more so I can kind of see the size of it, right? To figure out how big the blanket I need to do, so how many I can do. It's a lot of squares.
Have you weighed one of these little squares to see how much?
I haven't, no.
It'll be fine. It's going to be pretty.
It's going to be pretty. I know it's going to be pretty, but... Anyway, so if anybody has tips on, like, weaving in the ends, that first one I didn't bother with. The other ones, they're ready to go, so that's fine.
They just felt like it's slowing you down a little bit.
It's just slowing me down. So if you've done a lot of granny squares and you can tell me that I only need to, like, weave it in for, like, a tiny little bit, that's great.
That's what she wants to hear.
That's what I want to hear. Just tell me I don't care. Falls apart, falls apart. No. Okay. I don't want it to fall apart. So I haven't done enough. I don't think I've done any granny squares that are multicolored like that. Like each row is a different color.
It made me want this pattern made me want to make a granny square. I love granny square. Like especially in the finer gauge like that when they're just like little, they're so pretty.
I think it's gonna be so pretty together. It's just slow. It's just slow, and that stops me. Mm-hmm. I like to see progress in things, so anyway, that's what that is. So, and tips on that would be lovely. Thank you. This is a project that I did not work on.
Oh, then yeah, you have to finish it before you get to work on it.
This is my scarf, also known as a sock tube. I forgot about it, actually. Like, I think I was, and I was like, oh, there's a 4th project. What was that? I'm like, oh, yeah, my sock tube.
Did I just say sock tubes? Like, yeah.
I picked this one because I started it, working on it not that long ago. So the heel is not in the right place. So I started with the toe, and then I was like, that's fine. I can figure out where to cut for the heel. But no, it doesn't fit. It's too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this off, figure out where it needs to go, and then cut here and then redo the toe. It's fine. And then once I've done that, it should be fine to finish the rest of it. I think I can probably, like, I think I did the toe up was so that I could, like, cut them in half and, like, have really, like, have longer socks. So I could make it as long as I kind of want. I don't think I'll make them, like, these are the heels here, so I don't think I'll make them that long. Because I don't think you guys can really see that, but, like, the heel here, yeah, that actually goes all the way up to my...
Yeah.
So it fits like that.
Did you leave some of the yarn separate, or do you have a whole separate? Because you're using the same color, so you're just ripping from the one end or whatever.
Yeah, I just, like, when I did my toe, I was like, oh, I'm gonna need, like, that's how much a toe is, so I ripped that much out, so I'll have that left over or whatever. Yeah. And I think I did that for the heel too. Like, I think I ripped out enough of the heel and toe, and then when I figure out, I didn't have her leave me extra. Because originally I was just doing this so I could see what it looked like, what the color looked like, and then I was like, well, it's a sock tube. I should make it. I should do something with it. And it matches my sweater. The sweater's got mohair in it, but it matches the sweater. So, and I like matching things. Anyway, that's my sock tube. So I guess that's okay.
So is that all 4?
That's all 4. You said that that's the only thing I'm allowed to work on this week, but I have to work on my Advent.
True.
Like, the Advent has to be, you said it has to be done by the end of February, so those will be the 2 projects that I work on.
Those will take no time, I think. That's kind of why I said it.
Yeah, I just have to figure out where the toe has to go.
And it did just make the rule today. Yeah. I'll be nice.
Anyway, I will try and work on this the next couple days and then work on my Advent again. So... I don't think I'm going to add... I don't know what... I still have to go through my projects. So hopefully I'll go through my projects so that next week I can have an idea of which ones are... oh, that's where that is.
At a spot that you want to, like, start working...
Yeah, I want to look at, like, some of my really old whips, right? Mm-hmm. So if I can finish this one, then that would be good. What was my... Oh, my bloomers won't be finished this week. And, yeah, that's the socks are the only chance of getting finished.
No, the Jupiter might.
Not this week. I can't do 2 sleeves. Excuse me. Depends on how much I get knitting over the weekend, but I don't think I can. Oh, it's DK. I don't know. It would come close. I can maybe get one sleeve done, but I want to do both sleeves at the same time. Like I'll do the color work, and then I'll do color work on the other side, and then I'll probably do them at the same time, unless there's no, or in tandem, like do 5 rows, right, to make sure the same length, because I don't have a sweater that's not the same length.
You don't?
I do. I definitely
I've done my sock.
See?
Done.
Done.
Is that
Yay!
considered done? Or should I?
No,
finish?
you have to weave.
I
in
will.
the
I'll
ends,
weave in
but-
all ends.
But
It's done. So now, do I only have 3 this week then?
I told you. Yeah.
Okay.
I still think you should not add that other sweater.
I'm not
I still
gonna
think
add
you
that
should
other sweater.
Keep those.
I need Marlowe Magic done.
Yeah.
So I have it marked as my number 1 to be complete.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have that striped one, the Northern Woods, as my number 2. And then my Evans marked as my number 3.
Yeah.
It was starting from the beginning, so I knew I was going to be working on it like before, but it would take longer. But I need Marled Magic.
But yeah, Marled Magic makes sense because you've had that, not the longest out of all your whips probably, but like
No,
but it's
not even out of all my sweater whips.
but it's so close to being done.
Yeah.
And then your other one's so close to being done too, and your Advent's going so fast. So
I have 1.
you lost momentum on that one because
People started
you were
feeding me.
winning and now you're not, and so
No, it's on there. It will come up soon. Anyway, yeah, I've got like 1, 2, 3. There's at least 3 sweaters that are older than Marled Magic.
yeah.
The V-neck tee's probably gonna get ripped out. Every time I look at it, I'm like, but it looks cute, but I'm not gonna finish it.
Yeah, then it's not. If you want to do it again, then you start again, right? Like
Yeah.
it's Oh, here's a darning needle and scissors.
Cool. I can actually finish. All right. What else we got? Anything?
I don't think
that's
so. I
it.
think that was pretty much it. Our 52 weeks of whips.
52 weeks of whips.
/
How are you gonna? So, can your cast-ons only be? Jillian got 52 weeks of socks and 52 weeks of
I got 52 weeks of. Oh, I got.
socks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And 52 weeks of easy knits.
And the new book, 52 Weeks of Easy Knit. She got both of those for Christmas. So you can only cast on from there.
That's not cool. There's so many other ones that I want to cast. There's lots of stuff I want to cast on from there, but like, and I did. Christmas Day, I cast on from the book.
You can do plain socks or...
If I want to do any socks, yes, it should. No.
If you do any, if you do any pattern socks, it has to be from the
I
book.
am not committing to that.
Fine.
I only wanted the book because it's pretty.
What is this?
The darning needle. Cool. Well, it's probably a sewing needle.
It's weird.
There's really sharp ones in there, actually. I use the blue one all the time. But
So yeah, I think that's it for this week, though.
See how our progress goes for next week. How this week's progress goes.
Yeah.
And what? So technically, I'm only supposed to work on that one project this week.
Ish. Yeah.
Oh, and then I'll get my
That and your
stuff
advent.
drawing my whips out of a hat. Oh, I'm not ready for that yet anyway.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens with next.
Oh, if I finish
Finish
the
the-
sock. Oh, I have to finish 4 things first.
Yeah.
So
I want to know how many whips everybody has. So
can't be more than me.
go and count them and comment them below. Could do a draw. Let's do a draw for a gift certificate.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if you stayed all the way till the end of this and you hear this, we're going to do a draw for a gift certificate. Go and count your whips and comment them below, and we'll do a random number draw. There's no competition in the number of whips or anything like that. And if you're monogamous, just put that in there. If you literally only have one, I'd love to hear about that.
Tell us more.
Tell us more. Like I feel like the people who I know who are monogamous, they still usually have like 2 or so, like two or three,
you have,
right?
Like you have to have something to, like, if you don't want to work on that one project, you have like an easygoing one or something you can kind of just do.
They have like a main project, and then like maybe a set of some socks or a hat or something else on the side. But and I usually recommend to people, especially if they are doing something bigger. I do not encourage being like me and having way too many whips, but having something easy that you can't really mess up. Because then if your project gets to a point where it needs a fix, or it needs like something where your brain needs to be on, you have something you can pick up for the rest of that evening, until you can get help with it or whatever, and like actually be relaxed. Because
I think that happens to me sometimes. I'm like either too tired to work on something a little bit more complicated, or I get to a spot and it's just like, okay, but like instead of just having that DK easy sock sitting next to me, right, like it's in the craft room or whatever, or wherever it is, what's in the car, then I end up not knitting, right? And I don't, but I could have.
Yeah, I end up falling asleep with my knitting in my hands. That's what happens a lot. Yeah. But I'm going to be knitting more. It's happening. I have to. So I'm going to finish all these things. So, yeah, I think that's it. We'll see you again hopefully next week.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.